Hi and welcome to another edition of What's in the Box. So what have we got this time? Well, I never thought I'd receive this, but it's finally arrived. My ZX Spectrum Next Issue 2 Kickstarter campaign. Over 2 years late. Let's open it up and take a look. So before we actually start with the opening, it'd be worth actually just doing a bit of a walkthrough around the Kickstarter campaign itself. So it was launched in August 2020 and this was hugely popular. Within minutes it had been fully funded, and in the end they ended up raising £1.8 million with over 5,200 backers. Now the delivery date was due to be August 2021, but let's face it, what Kickstarter campaign ever manages to do that? And sure enough, they lived up to that expectation because we had COVID. And through that, we actually then had the global chip shortage. There were then obviously the cost of materials increasing, so production had to be moved to Asia. There was then all the challenges around transportation of freight and that sort of stuff. And just over 2 years later than planned, I've finally got the machine. And if you want to actually learn more about the actual campaign itself, then click on the link above, which takes you to the Kickstarter page with all the various updates. So just to manage expectations around this, you know, I'm not a techie person, so this is going to be a real layman's sort of walkthrough. I'm a Spectrum games player at heart. You know, I started off with a ZX81, moved to the Spectrum Plus. I then got myself a Sam Coupe, which I had all the games for as well. But by that time I'd moved on to the Sega Master System and Mega Drive, so I didn't really play games quite so much. I had a bit of a revival with the Spectrum Recreated, but given that the actual software release for that was so limited, that didn't last long. I was also one of the very few lucky people to actually receive one of the ill-fated Vegas Plus, which was an absolute pile of pants, and somewhere on YouTube is my video of unboxing that. So when this next campaign launched, I thought, you know what, I'm close to retirement. I thought it's time to set myself a little project and actually learn how to actually program in machine code. So that's where I'm at the minute. And coincidentally, 2 days before I received my next, I actually got the 40 best machine code routines, which was also a Kickstarter campaign from John Hardman and Andrew Hewson. So that's going to sort of set me up. Anyway, that's enough about the background. Let's get on with the opening. So here we have it. It literally came through Yodel today, so we'll do the proper unboxing. It's certainly well packaged. I thought we were meant to get a notification that these were being sent out, but I didn't receive anything, so this was a bit of a surprise. And here we have the first official look at the contents. So I've got a fair bit of reflection off the roof, so let's get the cellophane wrapping off it. But it's nice, feels nice and solid in there. There we go, that's a bit better. So there we have an image of the front of the box. It's got a nice sort of gloss finish to it, and it feels like a very sturdy box, this one. And then on the reverse, it's got information about all the specification. There's enhanced software as well. Hook it up to a modern monitor or TV and get started discovering what computing is really about. And then a whole load of games there, like Baggers in Space, Where the Exploding Fist, and so forth. So here we go. Maybe I should have a drum roll now. So what have we got? Look at that in a sec. Let's look at the computer first. That's the most important piece. So here it is. and it certainly does look a thing of beauty there, doesn't it? Certainly very reminiscent of the sort of Spectrum Plus in my view. It's got loads of ports around the back. I've got no idea what some of those will be for, but you can obviously do VGA, you've got HDMI, ear mic, USB, keyboard, mouse. You've obviously got the power as well. That looks like some sort of expansion slot. Nice to see you've got some legs for the actual keyboard as well. But really nice finish. I love the sort of Spectrum colours on the side there too. So it feels really nice and substantial as well. So it's got a bit of weight behind it. But I think rested on the desk, that's going to work quite nicely. And the keys feel quite reasonable. They're very light to touch. I'm sure my chunky fingers will end up mistyping things, but yeah, it feels alright. It's obviously a little bit smaller than a more traditional keyboard, but I think that looks pretty good to me. So let's see what else is in the box, shall we? We've got, I'm trying to work out how all this all fits together. Looks like we've got a couple of things here. We've got a quick start guide. Shows you about all the contents. So I'll show you some images on all of this anyway, so you can see what that's like. And then you've got what I'm really pleased about is a really substantial weighty manual. So 318 pages. So it looks pretty detailed because it's this is not massive print. Very reminiscent of the very first Spectrum booklet, I think, as well. And there's the first one, just by way of comparison. Actually quite a bit thicker as well, so bigger, and that had 186 pages. As I say, this has got 318 and much bigger. So let's have a look at some of the contents, see if it's got I can't see a contents in here. That's the important thing. At least they've got an index, so lots of bits and pieces to cover there, but yeah, really surprising. Thought there would be a no, just go straight into chapter 1. So, sound and music. Let's have a look at that. What else? So time and motion, graphics, colours. We've got more about print and input, conditions, mathematical functions. Okay, using machine code is at the end, so that will be useful. The memory, in and out, and the next registers. Optional features. Yeah, there we go. So let's see what else we've got. I'm guessing this is all the power pieces in here. Really nicely put together, this actually. So we've obviously got the power unit, and I think this was one of the Kickstarter upgrades, was this sort of on-off switch here. And you've obviously got all the international plugs there as well. And that looks like it's about it, I think. I don't think there's anything else in there. So let's get it connected, shall we, and take a look. We've got it all set up. Now, before I move on, I just realised when I was actually looking at this in a bit more detail, there's a whole load of stuff on this side as well. So you've got reset button, a drive, don't know what that is yet, SD card for the next software, and an NMI, which is all to do with the function keys. But got the power switch. Let's power it up, and hopefully, I did have a read of the quick start guide. It does say I get a test card just to confirm that the screen's okay. I'm meant to see the checkerboard around, so that looks okay. Select that mode. Right, press spacebar for menu. Oh, loading. Nectars and evolution system. Hopefully you can read some of this. There's many new features. The full documentation, please read the manual. Let's click that, shall we then? Press enter for the next page. Previous page, disable welcome. So you can use the joystick to navigate the menus. Current date and time will be shown. So I'm probably not going to set that up just yet, because it does say setting up the Wi-Fi and the clock takes a bit of time. You need to go into some sort of setup menu. So I'll do that another time. Okay. God, lots to read here. Low res screenshots. Okay, so that's all codings. When you first select a TAP and TZX file from the browser, you'll be presented with several options. Okay, I'm not sure if I get any games on this, so we'll see in a moment. You can press the multi-face button at any time. Okay, so it's got a multi-face button. That's a bit like the MGT drive that I had years ago. That might be what, maybe that's what the drive button is actually. Okay. A load of commands. A bit more about the enhancements here. Oh, okay, so auto exec files. I'm just going to scroll through these quickly because I think it's one of these things. Oh, there you go, I've reached the end anyway. So, space to start, let's do that. And let's go into, more is where I think you have to do the, let's have a look at that. Tape loaded test, interface 2, 48K basic, tools, browser, command line, calculator guide, more. Okay, so lots of bits there. Anyway, let's look at the browser. So it looks like we've got some demos there. There you go, let's look at games, that's what I was really after. Classic 1 to 8K. Now let's look at the next game. So I think I'm meant to get Head Over Heels as part of this, but Halls of the Things, that was, God, I can't remember what that was, maker that was. Is that one? God, it's so quick. Play the game, play Blitz Halls, play using Gem's favourite settings, instructions. Let's have a quick look at the instructions. Search the tower for the 7 rings and try not to get killed. Drink the magic potion. Right, okay, let's play the game then. This is God, trying to remember what the keys are for these things. I do remember this game, but I think my skills at using the keyboard on some of this is a bit dodgy. One of those annoying things where you end up with the up and down, left and right are just not logical. They should be forward and back, but right, okay, so how do I get out of this? NMI, there we go, NMI, so that allows me to enter the snapshot, screenshots and all the rest of it. I'm going to do that. Right. If in doubt, turn the power on and off again. God, a bit rubbish when it comes to these sorts of things. Alright, space for the menu. Don't want to do that. There we go. So let's have a look and see what else is on there. Let's have a look through the browser. So it's going to be loads to actually work through here. Loads of directories, so go back to games again. So you've got classics, got Dizzy, Dark Star, Hibernated, Ionut, Trashman, that was a good one. God, there's even ZX81 games. 3D Defender, 3D Monster Maze, that was brilliant. I used to love that game. Let's have a look at other classic next ones. Santa's Prezi, Pogie, Orb, Night Night, Lords of Midnight. They've got some pretty good games in there actually. I think should have some quite fun playing these. Let's have a look at Night Night, shall we? Oh no, turn the floor from blue to yellow. That's not a bad game, this actually. Except I'm a bit rubbish at controlling it. Don't know what happens there. Oh well, maybe I need to read the instructions a bit more. So I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. I'm really pleased to have actually finally got it, and it's certainly going to keep me busy having a look at all the machine code and everything else that I'm going to have to learn. If you've not already seen it, have a look at one of my previous videos about using Chat GPT to program the ZX Spectrum, which showed just as much my sort of lack of skills in programming as the Chat GPT as well. But you know, going forward, hopefully I'll start to learn to improve my basic programming, but also machine code as well. And who knows, I may do some future videos just around that, so might be worth checking that out. But in the meantime, really impressed with the graphics on this. I think the actual color and the animation is just brilliant, and certainly compared to what I was used to with the old ZX81, it has moved forward so much. So yeah, I think it's good fun. Thank you very much for watching. To all the other backers, I hope you enjoy your Spectrum Next just as much as I'm going to.